Hi everybody, Casey Zander here. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you 5 secret stoic traits that all women crave, but they're never going to tell you this. Okay, I'm going to tell you straight up, here's why they won't tell you that they actually crave this. If they told you that they wanted this, that would make them vulnerable, and it would also give you an inner advantage. Now here's the thing, they'll also never tell you this because they want you to just get it, okay? They don't want to have to know that a guy has to be told these things, which is why when I bring this to point number 5, when I show you this later today, when I tell you this story, I'm going to tell you this straight up. I have lost women that I've dated in my life. I have literally lost out on dates. I've lost out on women from this channel. You got to let that sink in. My dating life has suffered at the expense of helping other men, because they do not want to see me give this sort of content. They do not want to see me give these sort of advice and tactics. I don't care. I'm going to show you step by step. The very first thing that you have to have as a man, 24/7, is you need delusional self-belief. Okay, I'm not just talking about a self-belief that's like kind of high. I'm not just talking about like your inner confidence. I'm talking about a delusional level of self-belief. Like delusional all the way to the moon and back. You need to believe that you're the man. Because if you wake up every single day and you don't think you're the man, nobody's going to do that for you. So this stems into a few things. The first thing is this stems into your inner confidence, okay, and it shows that you're strong-willed. The reason why this is a stoic trait is because here's what you got to understand. You are now living your life with actions-based decisions. You are not just thinking. Okay, this is what most people do. Most people will spin their wheels for 6, 12, or even 18 months in a row, make no progress in life because they're always planning. They're thinking of the perfect plan. Okay, these are your typical guys who are wanting step-by-step processes with their dating life in order to, let's say, text the girl the right way or how to approach the girl the right way, and they need this 100-step playbook. Okay, but here's the thing is that 100-step playbook they can never actually go out and execute on. When you have delusional self-belief, this sort of energy trumps everything. Okay, you will trump every other person who has the best action plan out there, since they're always thinking and you're just making decisions in life. Dude, you're gonna crush. I'm gonna tell you this, you're gonna crush. You're going to do better than everybody because while they're thinking, you're doing. Big difference in how you live. Okay, you need to wake up like you are the man. Nobody's the man but you. Okay? And here's what you got to realize is the world wants you small. Do you think that the world wants you to have this big daddy energy? Do you think the world wants this? No, the world wants to keep you small. Okay? People want to keep you small. They want to say, hey, don't talk like that. Don't talk with any sort of confidence. Don't think you're the man. Don't have self-belief. Fit in with everybody. Can't you just get through life, and can't you just be quiet, and can't you just shut up, and can't you just go along to get along? They don't want you to have self-belief, okay? The world wants you small. Fuck all that. You need to tell yourself every day that you are the man. If you don't have that level of self-belief, no one can have it for you. That's first. The second stoic trait that you need is going to be unwavering emotional control. Okay? Once again, not just emotional control, unwavering emotional control. I'm going to tell you a few little stories here. The first thing you got to understand is you need to choose what you put your time into. Okay, this was one of the first issues that I made in my first relationships in my early 20s. Okay, is what would happen is the woman who I was dating would dictate what I put my time into. Not only would that dictate what I put my time into, but I was a 99%er. I was like 99% of men where their emotions dictate what their time goes into. Okay? That means any little thing that moves you off center emotionally, you're willing to drop what you're doing at the drop of a hat, and you're willing to go and put your time into that. Okay? That is going to not only make women lose attraction for you, but this is going to show her and yourself that you do not have unwavering emotional control. Okay, after this video is over, I want you to go down below. I want you to watch MBT. It's a webinar training I put together for you. Man, I've been getting testimonials across, I've had over 3,000 guys enter into this. Man, I've been seeing guys who have completely crushed it in their dating life. This is what keeps me going every single day, is waking up knowing that guys are getting that level of success. Which means after this presentation is over today, you have to go register for that. It's going to totally change your life. It's going to give you an exact formula that you can live and abide by to win. And it's going to give you a leg up compared to 99% of other men who don't use MBT. You need this, okay? When I operated in the second stage right here, my second stoic trait of unwavering emotional control, here's what I started to realize. I focused on me. I said, you know what? I don't give a shit what anybody else is doing. I don't give a fuck what anybody else is doing in their social life. I don't care how anybody else is living. I don't care what anybody else believes that they need to focus on. I'm going to focus on me. And I don't care what the standard is. I don't care what the status quo is of what most people are living by. I told myself, you know what? I don't care what's popular. I don't care what's popular on social media. I don't care what is considered the right way to do things to run a relationship. Because if you look how most guys run a relationship, they get no success. The woman will typically always leave, and they're left empty-handed. So I said, you know what? I'm going to focus on me. And it doesn't matter who is trying to pull me off center emotionally over the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months. I'm going to focus on me. Because here's the ultimate goal with this. You cannot ever let a woman get you worked up. If you let a woman get you worked up in any way, shape, or form, and you can tell just how serious I am with this topic today, if you let a woman get you worked up in any way, shape, or form, okay? We're talking through texts. We're talking through little comments, okay? We're talking through showing disinterest and seeing if she can push your buttons. If you ever let those little nuances screw you over emotionally, you are going to not only kill the attraction, but what's going to happen is you're not going to feel solid inside. I don't want this to happen to you. You have to stay strong. You have to stay stoic. This is the second level, okay, of emotional control that you have to have is unwavering emotional control. The second stoic trait you must possess. You might be sitting here wondering, okay, Casey, what's number 3? We saw you were a 99%er at one point. We've seen that you didn't always live this way. And I'm trying to sell you on this. You got to see this. I believe in this so much. I am trying to prove to you that if you live the ways I'm teaching you on this whiteboard, you are going to have more success in life than anybody. You're going to have more success in life with women. You're going to have more success in life getting people to want to be by you. You're going to have more success in life financially. You're going to sleep better at night. This is a better way of living. Okay? Number 3. This is something most guys don't have, is a willingness to lead, okay? Not just leadership, not just woo-woo fluffy leadership like corporate talk and all that bullshit. We're talking a true inner willingness to lead. Nobody ever wants to take charge. And here's what you got to do is you got to literally look yourself, like there came a day when I had to look myself in the mirror and I said, you know what? I am willing to lead and I'm going to be a man. I'm going to be a real man. I'm going to lead. I'm going to be unapologetic about that. The people in my life who choose to follow, okay, or the woman that I'm dating, if she chooses to follow and she understands why that's going to benefit her life, great, more power to her. If not, if there's any level of abrasion, if there's any level of resistance, it's not somebody I want to lead in the first place. This is why you have to be willing to dissolve relationships if the person is not willing to fit your frame. You are the man. You need to be a real man. You need to take charge. You need to lead. I'm going to tell you this. If you don't lead it, she's going to be dropping her panties for a different guy who can. Like, enough of this cookie cutter BS. Enough of this Pillsbury Doughboy soft BS. Like, you got to look yourself in the mirror one day and say, when did I get so weak that I take no action and I just sit and consume and learn all day? Okay? What you have to do in order to lead, though, okay, you might be wondering, like, okay, so how do I lead her? Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to decide how you're going to live first. See, most men, they have no morals. They have no boundaries. They stand for nothing, and since they stand for nothing, they can't make decisions in their own life. If they can't make decisions in their own life, how can they lead a woman? Do you understand this? You can't lead anybody if you can't even lead yourself first. This is like number 1. So there came a time, and this was even like about a year and a half ago for me, I told myself, I wrote down on a sheet of paper, I'm like, okay, I want to be a real man, a rock solid guy. What do I have to do? Well, the first thing I have to do is I have to write my own code. Okay, I have to write down, what do I actually believe in? What do I believe to be true about the world? Why do I believe these things? How am I going to operate morally? How am I going to operate ethically? How can I live my life that's going to make God very happy? Okay, these are the questions I had to ask myself. I said, hey, I'm here on this earth for a reason. Better start acting like it. Until you start, but no, see, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to act like they have purpose. Nobody wants to act like they have value. Here's what they want to do. They want to sit sedated behind the phone, flicking through things, okay? hoping and praying that something or somebody is going to come along and save them. Nobody is going to save you. That's what you got to realize. Nobody is going to save you. Anybody who tells you that they have the savior plan of the, like, anybody who tells you that you can just do whatever and the woman should just follow and fit your frame, you're in for a rude awakening. You got to lead yourself first. Okay? How do you do this? Well, you set the logical framework for how you want to live your life. Now notice, I didn't just say framework, I said the logical framework. Well, what does that mean? Logical framework. Can anybody comment the word logical framework below? Can you do that? Comment the word logical framework below. What is a logical framework? Logical framework means logically, using my big fat head, I'm going to put my life in perfect order. I'm going to set the code for how I'm going to live. And I'm going to do this rooted in logic, not rooted in how I feel. If you want success in life, you're going to have to operate on a pure rational basis. Not based on feelings. It's not based on emotion. It's based on how you're going to set your frame for how you want to live. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Casey, do I have to take it to this grade of detail? Yeah, you do. Because if not, you're going to be a 99%er, lost in their emotions and not knowing how to operate. You need to set the logical framework for how you live. And once you set the logical framework for how you live, okay, here's what happens. Regardless of how you feel emotionally day to day, you got to understand this. Some days I wake up happy. Some days I wake up sad. Some days I wake up pissed off. And some days I wake up happy as a clam. It doesn't matter. I'm living the same way because I told myself I am. And since I am doing that, since I am going to live that way, I don't care not only what other people think, but I don't care how I feel that day. I have a duty and a mission to operate regardless. This is important. If you don't believe this to be important, I don't see how you can have any success in life. So here's what you do. You got to ask yourself a serious question. You say, what would I do if I cared for me, if I cared for my own self at the highest level? What would I do? So there was a time in my life I had to make a list. Well, what was the list I had to make? I had to write down a list and I had to say, okay, what would I have to do to care for myself? Well, I would probably stop drinking. I would probably stop smoking. I would probably not be addicted to caffeine. Okay, I would probably cut out dirty websites. I would probably stop jerking it. I would probably stop being indecisive. Okay, I would probably cut out sugar. I would probably cut out processed food. These are the things that I would do if I cared for myself on an individual level. And then I had to ask myself, well, why don't I do them? See, these are the million-dollar questions. Typically, if we can ask ourselves the right questions, we're going to get ourselves to the right answers. This is number 3. You lead yourself, and you lead yourself by setting a true code for your life. Okay? A true code for your life. What's number 4? The 4th Stoic trait. Now, at the end of this, too, you got to stick with me on this because I'm going to tell you why a woman will never tell you these things. I'm going to tell you on a deeper level why she would never tell you why she wants these things. The 4th thing that you need is self-control. Okay? I decide what I do day to day, nobody else. Okay? I am non-impulsive. I am non-reactive. I have no vices. I am stronger than my vices. Okay? The booze does not overcome me. The party lifestyle doesn't overcome me. I overcome it. Just because I'm craving that hit of dopamine, I'm stronger than my vices. I don't know why we live in a world where there's merit in being weak. There's like true merit in going with the flow and living in pleasure. Oh, just do that, kick it, bro. You're not cool, blah, 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 blah. Shut up, okay? God wants me and you strong. You need to be strong. Okay, you're here for a reason. You're not made to be landed to live in pleasure and be weak. You're meant to be strong. This goes so much deeper than dating because here's what you gotta understand. This actually stems into who you are as a man, who you are as an individual. There is no playbook. You need to write the code for your own life first. And if you can do that, what you're gonna see is your dating success is gonna tenfold. That's why when I created MBT, you can go down and watch the webinar below. It is not based in these weird pseudo step-by-step tactics. These are true masculine behavioral techniques. How does a man have to operate on the fundamental core to change himself and to turn darkness, into light? How can you take all of the darkness and all of the suffering and transform that into the light for your own life? The true masculine behavioral techniques that it takes. These are the million-dollar questions. Okay, what's number 5? Because this is important. You've started with step number 1. You have delusional self-belief. You have unwavering emotional control. You have a willingness to lead and self-control. The last and most important for all of you who are leveling up, Her beauty doesn't make you change. I don't care if you get the hottest Victoria's Secret model in the world. Her beauty doesn't make you change. You gotta understand this. Like, I'm gonna tell you this with no arrogance. I'm gonna tell you this with no bravado. I'm telling you this so you truly understand my life mission and my story, okay? I started off very poor with women. I made it my whole mission in life to attract women. Like, by the time I was 16 years old, I wanted hot women, right? I like big, beautiful, round, voluptuous curves. I like big booties. I like blonde hair. I like white teeth. I like cute girls. I like feminine personalities. I knew I liked this type of girl, these types of women. Can't help it. It's how I'm hardwired. It's what I like. If you don't like that, I don't really care. That's what I wanted, okay? So because I eventually stumbled upon the road over the 5-10 years, cracked the code, understood how to do this, understand how to operate like this, it came because I had a book of failures. My whole life, I'm going to show you this. My entire life, I've written down my book of mistakes. Okay, this is Casey's book of mistakes. I post pictures of this on my Facebook sometimes, and I show people literally all the mistakes. The past 7 to 10 years, every mistake I've ever made, I've written down, and I've kept it. And that's where I've gotten to how I am today, so that way I don't have to make these mistakes. So as I leveled up, you gotta understand, I leveled up financially, I leveled up with my status. Okay, I got some sort of success in a few different industries over the years. Because of that, you gotta understand, I became what I wanted to, and I attracted the type of women that I wanted to. Her beauty, though, can't make me change. And this is something very important that every man has to understand. You have to set and solidify yourself that is unwavering. You cannot change. Okay, I have lost women from this channel because they don't want to see that I'm giving men these secrets. My dating life has suffered. I don't care. I don't care because I want a bigger purpose to help you. I know that if I can live this way and I can impact your life and you can spread this to your friends, your family, you can share these videos with other people, we can actually make men strong. We can do great things. But you have to be willing and you have to want to. And what that takes is that takes you not changing. What most men do, they get the girl, excuse me, they get the girl, and all of a sudden they're doing all these things they don't want to do. And you know what happens is it emasculates them and they turn into something that they weren't when they first met her. If you actually want success in your dating life, you need to take it to this level. Because success, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And like, you will see guys time and time again, like they'll have one piece of the pie kind of figured out, but the rest struggles. It's like they can attract girls at a bar or use some pickup lines, but they can't keep them. Or their purpose is not on point, or their money's not on point, or they have all these bad habits and they lose women. Or like, if you want to be solidified from the ground up, okay, here's the thing. What I've learned through marketing over the years is there's 3 core niches, okay? There's 3 core human desires. There's health, there's wealth, and there's relationships. These are the 3. Typically, if somebody goes into an industry, you're marketing on either health, wealth, or relationships. Well, here's the thing. Relationships is really the only industry, or relationships is really the only thing in life where your health and your wealth is directly correlated to your success here. Most of the time, you can isolate these 3. Right? If you want your health better, you can go to the gym, you can make more muscle. You want your wealth better, you can work more, you can level up financially. But your relationships, that's a combination of everything because it's who you are. And that's why out of everything I've ever done, out of everything I've ever coached, everything I've ever helped, this is the hardest to get across because you have to fix so many not only inner beliefs about a man, but the outer ways as to how he sees the world. And if you can do that, only then can you win. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.